In this podcast, Nigel Clarkson is chatting to Lara McAllen. She has a brand new track, and this is what she had to say about being back on the music scene.
It's quite strange to be coming back to music, to be honest. I did not think I would be coming back to music again, let alone doing interviews and having new songs back on the radio. So all quite strange.
Brilliant. So much to talk about. First of all, you were a model, weren't you, when you first started? Your career was a model.
It's funny, isn't it? So back in the day, when I first started singing, and the first kind of things in the press went out, they always billed me as a model to start with, but I wasn't really. I was a dancer.
Right.
So I was a professional dancer before. My first professional job was with Shakira. So I was one of Shakira's backing dancers.
Right,
so I wasn't really a model. I mean, there are a couple of photo shoots that I look back now and I think, oh, wish I didn't do that.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah, I think, you're young and you think, oh, do this and that. And I did some photos, but they were kind of more along when I started with Angel City, but technically I was a backing dancer first. That was my first job.
Right. And then you got into singing though. I mean, big time, didn't you, when you joined up with everybody? 2003 really, when it really got going, wasn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. And so singing was always my best thing. So I trained in musical theatre and I wanted to do musical theatre. That was the plan. And so I was a better singer than I was a dancer, but you get on the audition circuit and this job came up as a dancer, and obviously I took it because you don't turn down a job with Shakira.
No.
So I always wanted to sing. That was the plan, but ended up kind of dancing first and then made that transition after that.
Right. So you got going and you had a few hits coming out, didn't you, as well? Well, you've got so many songs. I mean, I've been looking at the catalogue. You've got quite a big catalogue, haven't you, really?
I mean, the first song, I have to say, I was 19 when I recorded Love Me Right, and I didn't know what I was doing or what was going on. And it was surprisingly a quick and easy journey. It was just a case of re-recording a track for Ministry of Sound.
Yeah.
And not really knowing what was going to happen with that. And within a few weeks, somehow they'd got that record of the week on Radio 1.
Wow.
And suddenly, I think I didn't realise that that's not really a usual thing. You don't just record a track one day and then a few weeks later, it's on the radio. So, that was Love Me Right was the breakthrough one, but it wasn't expected. It was all a bit, oh right, okay, it's this track is on the radio, and it was awesome.
Yeah, I think you find that with a really good song though, don't you? It seems to just take its own path and it really just takes off. And a lot
but I didn't really think it was that good a song.
Well, no, don't you think that happens though, doesn't it? You don't know when at the time.
You don't know, and I think that's what I've kind of realized since, is that you could have a really, really great track, but it's a lot of luck and a lot of obviously things have changed so much now.
Yeah.
From then, that's 20 years ago that first track was out, and it was all about radio, and it was then you built up your marketing was all beforehand, and then you launched this track, and now it's completely different. But I still think there is this element of a huge amount of luck and connections and all of that. But yeah, very, very, very lucky with that first record.
Definitely has changed. I remember being commercial radio presenter in 2003, and it was where the guy used to appear from a record company armed with his CDs. Here's the CDs. What are you going to play and what are you going to put on the playlist? And now it's just $1 million away from that, isn't it? It's just completely changed.
And then the same with clubs, like for that sort of music, the record label would send CDs around the country to DJs saying, will you play it in your club?
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess they don't do that anymore.
No.
CDs don't get shipped out. So yeah, it was strange coming back and realizing how things work now. is with streaming is so different. You know, like, so the track we've just done, or just released rather, was actually because the DJ put a very short clip of it on TikTok.
Right.
And again, it's just this big luck thing, isn't it? For whatever reason, that I think it got like 2.5 million plays really quickly or something. However, you have to be able to jump on that so quickly, and your record label has to get on that so quickly. Actually, I think it took about 10 months to then release that, and by then it's like, well, TikTok, as you say, it's here and then it's gone, and you know. So I think that's the thing. If suddenly something can fly on TikTok, that's great, but it's a huge amount of luck. I need a crash course on this, really. Because but it's a crash course on everything. It's like, so now I'm recording myself. I never used to record myself before, but I do all of that now, and that's actually come really, really quickly. But all of this other stuff, it's just, you know.
So the new music, when did you actually record it? The latest?
So the latest the track that's out at the moment was recorded probably back in, I want to say, February. And that was with a young Scottish DJ. I mean, it's his track, and it's a cover, it's a Rihanna cover. Recorded it then, but it's, you know, the same sort of thing with the music industry. It took forever. Well, it seemed like to take forever to get that out. My own music I've been recording since the end of last year, and trying to get basically an Angel City new relaunch release out there. So that's the plan. I've been doing that since the end of last year, but it's taken a little while to get into the groove of what that sounds like now. Because I'm grown up now.
It's a great song. I've listened to it. I've been having it on here this morning, and the production's brilliant on it.
He's a really, I mean, I don't even know, Adam, his name is, he goes under the DJ name AKN. Very young, and very, I mean, it's a bit of a banging track. You wouldn't listen to it with a headache, but it's quite good. It's you know, it's a high energy vibe. Quite a powerful vocal. It's not exactly what my new music will be like. I'm kind of more about melodic top lines, and something probably a couple less beats per minute is probably my thing. But
I was going to say, what is your target audience? What or intended target audience? What would you like to be? You know,
I mean, obviously, the people that are coming along with it at the moment are the people that were there the first time round. So I've got a lot of 30-somethings, 40-somethings. Of course, I'd love to tap into the younger lot. But what's naturally coming along at the moment is the people that remember Angel City from, you know, they'll say to me, oh, that's when I was doing my A-levels. I remember taking it back to my early uni days. But it's going to be a bit more grown up, because it would be daft for me to be singing about stuff that, you know, I would have sung in my teens, because you know, it's more for people that have probably you know, been through a bit more of life. And I'll be writing about stuff that is life experience. So, you know, I've been married, divorced, and married again this time round. So be tapping into the audience that wants to listen to this kind of stuff.
Don't worry about the age thing. Don't worry about that, because I'm well over the hill now, but I still love all the new songs, you know, and that's the way. Yeah, I do. I don't change. And even my wife's the same. She still loves the new songs. If it's a great song, we love it. We're not stuck in that groove of like, oh, I was brought up on the 80s, you know. I mean, there are great songs in the 80s, but I only can listen to so long to it. I want to listen to something that's new as well, you know.
But then what do you think about the fact, this trend at the moment, that there's kind of 90s, noughties, mash up, bring back a track, you know, like bring back a track from the 90s and mash it up? How do you feel about that? Do you like hearing, you know, an old track done by a young DJ now, or does that drive
Not
you
always. If it's a classic track, I think you should just leave it sometimes.
Yeah.
There's been some, there's been some efforts come out, hasn't there? And some of them, like Hadaway, they tried to cover that song. You can't cover the Hadaway, What Is Love? It's just a classic song, isn't it? And that's my personal opinion anyway. But if you're a youngster, you've probably never even hardly heard of.
This is the thing. I think that's the thing, is that a lot of teenagers are loving stuff now that actually it's possibly its second or third time out. Yeah. I think, I agree with you. I mean, it can only be certain songs, and probably some should just be left well alone. Yeah,
it's because of the rhythms and that. In the 80s, they had a lot of different, it was really when music got established in a different sort of market, wasn't it, in the 80s? It has done in every decade. I mean, the 90s is clubs, isn't it, really? Club music and that. There was a real growth in that market. Is that what you're aimed at, by the way? Is it club music or not?
I mean, yeah, I suppose so. I mean, my roots were not club. Yeah. I fell into the kind of club thing through being signed to Ministry of Sound, and I love the the kind of house trance thing, but pushing more commercial for sure. My vocal is definitely more of a commercial vocal, but my heart was in pop and R&B and soul and that kind of thing. So I'm an interesting kind of vocal mix of that. Really. Yeah.
What else have you got planned for coming up in the future?
Well, we're trying to. So I will be going to Amsterdam next month, because there's the big Amsterdam dance event. Yeah. Where you basically, I think, everyone gets together to have a really great time, but everyone in the dance music industry can then connect and pitch stuff and collaborate and that kind of thing. So I'm hoping that we'll get some more collaborations together, because at the moment there's a couple of tracks with different DJs that we are looking to get out for the end of the year. So there's one particularly that's kind of really close to my heart with a young DJ called Amy Wiles, and to do a kind of 2-female thing is actually really cool. So we've got this track called Dream Away that we really want to get out, and that's kind of more, so I've co-written that, and it's more of a kind of ethereal start to it with, it's still got a bit of a banging, drop. Well, of course it's got a banging drop. But yeah, so we're hoping to push that one out really, really soon. And then just get my solo stuff out would be fantastic. That's, that is obviously the mission. So but it's like you've got to absolutely give your heart and soul and everything, and then see what happens. You can't do any of this without kind of full fuel on it. I do think with music, you're either in 1,000% to make it really work, or you're not.
But you sound like your heart's really in it, and it's something that you love doing. It's a passion, isn't it?
It's a creative part that I think for the years, a good decade, that I shut the door on it and went, I don't need that, but it's in there and it's suppressed, but it's there. Yeah. And actually to be doing it again, a whole piece of me has come back to life.
Hey, it's been great chatting to you anyway. I wish you all the best with the new partnership one that's coming out, when you get that sorted.
Thank you very much.
You'll have to let us know about that, and we can give it a good plug.
Yeah, definitely. I will definitely let you know as soon as the next stuff is ready. Brilliant. We would love the support. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for joining us and sharing in the untold stories of the stars. In the world of showbiz, there's always another story waiting to be told. See you next time.